So, a very warm welcome to each one of you, all the respectful people out there. So, today I, Anushi, a student of class 10th at OPS Vidya Mandiram Bala, is going to deliver the knowledge about the coronavirus. As it is a very hot topic in today's world, each one of us are, being discussing about the coronavirus. So, it becomes slightly very important to know the information about the coronavirus. So, without wasting much time, let's get started. So, first of all, we must know the basics, as without knowing the basics, we cannot understand the content itself. So here we have viruses. We should know about the viruses. So this word virus is known as Vishanu in Hindi, and Vishanu word is made up of another word that is Vish, and Vish means poison. So in the similar fashion, virus is the microorganism that is very harmful for the health. So we have a few points here regarding the viruses itself. So first is virus was discovered by Ivanovsky. So he's a scientist who had discovered the virus for the very first time. Second, it comes where the virus had been discovered for the very first time. It is the tobacco plant at which the virus had been evident at the very first time. So therefore, the first virus was also named as tobacco mosaic virus. Third comes the viruses cannot survive. Please remember my words and please give attention to my words that viruses cannot survive in the open environment. They are living inside the another host's body, not in the open environment like the humans, animals, or any other microorganisms. So third point says the same. It can survive only inside another living organisms, animal, or plants. So the fourth point comes, it is a connecting link between the living and non-living things, because living because they are living inside the host's body, and non-living because they are dead in the open environment. So moving on, we have some properties of viruses when they are living and when they are non-living. So moving ahead, we have 3 points regarding the living properties of viruses. The first of all comes the presence of DNA or RNA, never both. So remember that viruses, like human beings, do not have both DNA or RNA. They are the owners of DNA or RNA, never both. So second comes genetic or parasitic properties. Genetic, of course, because they are the owners of DNA or RNA, and parasitic properties because the parasites, first of all, you must know about the parasites. So parasites are the organisms that do not contribute in making the food, but they used to get the nutrients from the another host's body without contributing anything. So they are the owners of parasitic properties. Third comes capable of spreading the disease because they are the parasites. So next comes non-living properties of viruses. Again, we have listed down some points. So first, the absence of cell wall and lack of protoplasm. So like the cell of humans, animals, and other living organisms, we have cell wall or cell membrane. But in the viruses, they lack cell membrane or cell wall, and they lack protoplasm also. Protoplasm is the liquidy substance present in the cell that is mandatory condition for a cell to get it alive. Second comes no any reproduction and growth outside the living cell because they are dead in the living or because they are dead in the open environment. Third comes the lack of metabolic activities like nutrition and digestion that takes place in the living organisms, and of course viruses are dead in the open environment. So next comes, we must know the structure of virus, which is very important. So let's give a glance upon it. So first come viruses has genetic material, either DNA or RNA, as we have discussed earlier. Second comes capsid protein shell of viruses. So they are the owners of capsid, that is the protein shell of virus, which protects the nucleic acid. Here you may see that they are having this viral genome. This is the viral genome, and it is being protected by the capsid, a protein shell of virus. And also this capsid helps in the transmission between the host cell because they get inside the host body from the open environment. So the component that helps in the transmission is capsid. Okay, so third comes, some viruses have a third structure that surrounds the capsid called the envelope. So envelope is present here. You may give it a glance here, envelope protein. So now, and it is composed of bilipid layer and glycoprotein. So this is the chemical composition of this particular envelope protein, you must know. Fourth comes, envelope protects the virus from the immune system and host secretes the antivirus substances called interferons. So what are interferons? So like in animals, like human beings, we have certain immunity. So in the immunity, what we have, WBCs, and special kind of WBCs, lymphocytes. We have all these things that help us to fight against the viruses, bacteria entering in our body. So these antiviruses we have that are known as interferons, that this envelope protein over here fight against the interferons to get the white virus inside our body. So you may see the entire structure of the virus over here. This is viral genome, nucleic acid. So these are all things that the virus is the owner of. So next topic comes, how do viruses work? How do viruses work? It is very, very important. So first of all, look upon the cell wall. This may be the cell wall or cell membrane in the case of human beings. So this is there first of all in the host body. This is the cell wall. This is the envelope of the virus. Here in the above diagram, it is very much evident, like we have envelope protein. So this is the protein here. Envelope protein of the virus is here. So this is being attached to the cell wall of the human body or any kind of host. Then this happen, what protein spikes are there. Let me show. These are the spike kind of structure present on the body of the virus. So these are the protein spikes. This is the cell wall, this is the receptor. So what here, the spike get removed, and the capsid here I would like to show. Just wait. Yeah, here the capsid we have talked about earlier, which protects the viral genome or the nucleic acid from any kind of disturbance. So here the capsid gets the DNA or RNA inside the host body. So what happens after that, we have here so first point comes, viral genome enters the host's body, like we have studied in the earlier slide as well. This is the viral particle. So this is the host cell genome. We are the owner of DNA in the nucleus. Okay. So second point comes, viral genome is replicated and transcribed. So this second point says that the virus starts synthesizing its proteins. So if it is synthesizing proteins, that means it has become alive inside the host's body. So third point comes, viral particles produced. Here they make more of their own kind. So fourth point, particles assembled inside the host, a lot many particles you may say here. Yeah. A new virus is released in the atmosphere. So this is the entire cycle that takes place when the virus enters in the body. But the main topic comes here. What are the coronavirus? What the coronavirus basically is, for which I have assigned this particular assignment. I have designed it. Okay, so the first point comes, coronaviruses are large family of viruses that causes illness ranging from common cold to severe diseases. That means their illness is ranging from the common cold and more severe diseases, such as you may say SARS here, severe acute respiratory syndrome. So next comes, there are the group of viruses that causes respiratory disease. So there are the group of viruses causing respiratory diseases in mammals and birds, in animals basically. So the third point becomes, the name of coronavirus is derived from the Latin corona, which means the crown. So this is a very important fact about the viruses, or basically the coronavirus, that they have been derived from the Latin word corona, that literally means crown. So here I hope it is very much evident that this particular spike kind of structure is there on the viruses also. Here you may see this spike kind of structure on the virus. So therefore this is a crown like structure. Therefore the virus is named as coronavirus. This is a very important fact you must know. Moving ahead, we have viruses. Here coronaviruses are zoonotic, meaning they are transmitted between animals and people. Why zoonotic? Let me explain. So we go in the zoo to see animals. So this zoo means animals, and notic, like they causes their harmful effects in the animals, in the living organisms. So animals basically, and human beings are also the part of the animal kingdom itself. Moving on February 11, 2020, the World Health Organization announced an official name for the disease, coronavirus disease, in 2019, abbreviated as COVID-19. So you must know the full form of the COVID-19. Here CO stands for corona, VI stands for virus, and D stands for disease. And here 19, because this particular virus had been found and become popular in the year 2019, therefore it is termed as 19, and the entire name is COVID-19. So the first identified in Wuhan, China. as we all know. Next comes COVID-19 is a new disease caused by a novel or new coronavirus. So whenever we call to our relatives to know about the coronavirus, the news of the coronavirus, so they call that they are suffering from the novel coronavirus. Why they add the word novel? So novel literally means new, because this coronavirus had not been found earlier in the human body, so therefore it is termed as novel because it is very new to our scientists. Therefore they add novel coronavirus. And the last but not the least virus for the COVID-19 is SARS-CoV-2. This is the basic name of this virus. I hope I am making sense. So moving on, coronavirus symptoms. So first of all, we have high temperature in the case of coronavirus. So if high temperature means the fever. Second comes running nose. Third comes cough. This is the dry cough, basically. This is the dry cough. Then fourth, sore throat. Okay, so moving on, the most interesting slide comes here. Rumors versus facts. Rumor versus facts. So the rumors, the first rumor I have is only N95 and N99 mask will be effective, but it is not the fact. The fact is that the 3-layer disposal surgical mask is good enough to contain the virus. N95 or N99 mask is not mandated. So this must be clear that these viruses can be caught by the by this simple 3-layered surgical mask, and it is disposal to you, so you may change it day after a day or the 2 days after. So the second point comes, COVID-19 can survive up to 12 hours on metals, 9 hours on the cloth, 10 minutes on the human hand, but there is no such kind of lifespan till now of the viruses. So according to WHO, World Health Organization, there is no such evidence that viruses may remain on the surface for a few hours or a few days. This may be vary under different conditions like the type of surface, temperature, humidity of the environment. So don't believe on such rumors out there. Fourth comes, hot temperatures will stop the COVID-19 outbreak. Like if the temperature is very much hot, then the virus will be dead. But in reality there is no such kind of report with us. So according to WHO and CDC, that is Center for Disease Control, it is not known whether the spread of COVID-19 will decrease when the weather becomes warmer. There is much more learn about the severity and other features associated with COVID-19. So you all are familiar with the countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, even in the India we have many places with high temperatures, but the virus is spreading like anything in those places as well. So moving on, we have fifth rumor, that is COVID-19 spreads through food, especially through eggs and chickens, but in reality there is nothing like that. So you may consume the food, non-veg at every cost. There is no harm in such case. Moving on, how is coronavirus diagnosed? It is very much evident that through blood test or through nose swabs, we can test that whether we are suffering from the coronavirus or not. Now, very important, who is at risk? So, if we are the part of the population, then are we at the risk of coronavirus? How should we know? So, the point is that older adults, basically the senior citizens and people with chronic diseases or conditions like heart and lung diseases are more at risk for the coronavirus. Second point comes here. In the first point only, I would like to add the infants as well from the age of 1 to 3, because they are also at the very high risk of coronavirus, so you must take care of them. Second point comes, people who are recently had surgeries of organ or bone marrow transplant and patient undergoing the chemotherapies, so you must take care of the kind of people as well. So the third point comes, people with weaker or compromised immune system. Of course, immunity plays a very big role to be safe from the coronavirus. So next comes, this is very hot topic also. So first of all, when we look upon the China's condition, so we say that we have not found any kind of patient in China, but in India we are finding the cases like anything, thousands, in lakhs we are. So there are stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. So what these stages are, let us discuss. So the first period is incubation period. Second, it is prodromal period, then it is period of illness. Fourth comes period of decline, then it is a recovery only. So in incubation period, what? In the incubation period, what takes place? So in incubation period, the symptoms in the very mild society takes place. Symptoms will be known in them who have the traveling history from another countries abroad. So in that case, we have the incubation period. Second comes, this incubation period leads to prodromal period if the proper steps had not been taken. So prodromal period, what happens here? High symptoms used to take place in the community, the virus gets spreaded, plus the testing takes place. So after the prodromal period, we have period of illness. Here the majority of the community is is suffering from the coronavirus. So after about 6 months, 3 to 4 months, we see a decline, a kind of decline in the cases, in the number of cases, and the recovery rate starts taking place. So here you may see that the graph is raising from incubation period, prodromal period, period of illness, but after 6 months, approximately after 6 months, the graph comes down at the x-axis. So there is nothing like be afraid of, because good things come out of the worst conditions itself. So it depends upon us that whether we are treating anything in a negative or a positive way. So comes reduce your risk from coronavirus infection. That are the measures basically. First is clean your hand with soap and water or alcohol based hand rub. Alcohol based hand rub is nothing but your sanitizer. So just wash your hand after coming to the market or after having your meal. So these are the basic etiquettes that one should have. So second comes, cover your nose and mouth when coughing and sneezing with tissue or flexed elbow. So if you are coughing or sneezing, if you have not be the honor of hanky or any kind of handkerchief at that particular moment, you should do just like tilted elbow, flexed elbow like this. Okay, so the third point comes, avoid close contact with anyone and with cold or flu like symptoms. So this point says that just give rise to social distancing. Fourth comes, thoroughly cook the food like meat or eggs, and thus last point is also the continuation of this particular point also, that avoid unprotected contact with the live, wild or farm animals. So this entire information is being gathered from WHO, that is the World Health Organization. So it is very helpful to obey these all. Next come, what is herd immunity? What about the herd immunity? So here let me change the color please. Yeah, so here herd immunity, also called the herd effect, community immunity, population immunity or social immunity, is a form of indirect protection from infectious diseases that occurs when a large percentage of population, means very major amount of the population has become immune to an infection, whether through previous infections or vaccinations. But in the case of coronavirus, we are not blessed with vaccination till now, so there are very less chances that will be immune through the herd immunity. Second comes, this means that even people who are not vaccinated are protected because people around them who are immune can act as buffers. So through this schematics, you must know that here with no herd immunity, this particular infected person is spreading the disease to a lot many peoples, but in this with herd immunity, this particular person is spreading the disease to only one person, and the major amount of the entire community is being protected from the vaccination or any kind of previous infection. But in the case of coronavirus, we are not here with the vaccination. So third comes, it would not work for India. What? Herd immunity will not work for India. Why? Because experts do not know a lot about the coronavirus immunity, because our scientists, our doctors are not very much introduced to the virus, that how long it will take to cure. So second comes, India has a large young population. The country's young population is addicted to a lot many things, like I have the statistics data that tobacco, about 33%, it is not the less number, 33% of the young population is addicted to tobacco. Then we have HIV virus that causes AIDS. Then we have hypertension, diabetes. So all these diseases causes lack of immunity. But in the case of coronavirus, on the other hand, we need to boost up your, boost up our immunity so as to get protected. So the herd immunity will not work for India in these ways. And the third comes, herd community cannot be implemented as long strategy. So this is also the important point. So all in all, what I want to say is, all depends upon you. If you are good, the situations will be created like that way only. The situations will not be worst with you if you'll stop going out, be the member of the get-togethers, or if you'll just support to that social distancing, use hand rubs, alcohol based hand rubs, that is sanitizer, wash your hands, wear mask, surgical 3 disposable surgical mask, so it would not affect you. And just, yeah, it is also recommended to drink kahdas, eat ayurvedic medicine, so as to just boost up your immunity. That is very important. So I just want to sum up with the very beautiful quote given by our um, very much respectful prime minister. So this says, only one mantra can take us through this particular pandemic, that is hum swast to jug swast. That means this is what I was telling a few moments ago, that it depends upon you. If you really want to be the, if you really want to be the next patient of the coronavirus, it depends upon you totally. If you will not be the member of the get-togethers, if you will not visit market again and again uselessly, then you will be safe from this coronavirus itself. So only one mantra can take us through this pandemic, that is hum swast to jug swast, that is the world will be healthy if we stay healthy. This is given by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the speech on 90th March 2020. So I hope this much must help you to know about coronavirus, the basic information about the coronavirus. I have tried my best to make you people understand. So thank you so much for getting your time into it. Thanks a lot.